What's up, y'all? It's Brian. We're cooking with gas, and we're back live. It's been a minute. Um, the reality is, life has really, it's not bad. It's just been super busy, like crazy busy, and so I'm really relieved to get back into the studio and really get back on this content grind. And so I come in with a new perspective. With some fresh new perspectives and stuff. And the thing I want to discuss today is first, I want to be here to answer any marketing questions you may have regarding a business, service, product, nonprofit, whatever you're running. If you have any quandaries about a specific thing with regarding your marketing, I'll try my best to answer it on this space here. So if you have a question, drop it in the comments and let me know, and make sure that you put your name by it so I can see who you are. So if you got a question, drop it in the comments. This is a feature that I want to roll out for the podcast, but the only way I'm going to do it and get versed in it is going live with it. That's one. Two, kind of giving you an update on the state of ISL words. And it's nothing bad, it's nothing, negative or anything. For those that don't know, my wife Brandy and I run a marketing agency that works with small businesses and nonprofits and really helps them get their arms around aspects of marketing and maybe opens up some new doors, some things that they haven't thought about. We're really trying to pivot into we're going to be hiring people and things along those lines. We really want to pivot more into the strategy side of things, where we come up with the big master plan and not do as much as the done for you stuff as we're doing right now. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. And so that's really the place we're at right now. ISL Word started out as initially I thought I was going to be just a copywriter. And for those that don't know, a copywriter is somebody that writes ads or writes brochures or manuals. Sometimes I mean, not novels, but by autobiographies, websites and things like that. Basically, it's a paid writer. It's somebody that writes for a specific purpose, and more times than not, that purpose is to make revenue. And so that's what a copywriter does. And that's what I Sell Word started out as. Is my copywriting service. And I quickly learned that I needed to expand out my services into other aspects of marketing, because I realized that it seems like marketing is this big nebulous thing that people really don't grasp. And it can be really confusing, especially if you're a business owner. You have to have the overhead of doing your business, but also, it's being able to market your business. And so we can look at kind of the definition of marketing, and I could butcher this, but really it's the science of finding the market for your product, service, or whatever. And sometimes it's not a product or service. Sometimes it's just your brand and finding the right people to connect with your brand. They're going to benefit you and benefit them. I believe in the concept of mutual benefit. People pay for what they value. And if you provide a service they value, we can make that connection happen. So that's kind of what I view in terms of what marketing actually is. And I know it's big and nebulous and it can be confusing, specifically for those that aren't in those kind of traditional places where you would associate marketing with. Your nonprofits, your charities, and things along those lines. They have to market too, and they have a target audience that connects with their message and wants to help them out. Or they have a target audience of people who they do help out for services, and they need to figure out how to get in contact with them to apply those services. And so that's all marketing. And so I'm going to be doing a video about what is and what is not marketing, and it's going to kind of turn it on its ear a little bit, because it's going to be what isn't marketing. Specifically, the biggest thing I've seen is what isn't marketing is you post a website and that's it. And a lot of times, people really get caught up in, well, I have somebody posting for me on social media, and I have a website, so now I'm doing marketing. Well, if that stuff isn't really calibrated to bring in a specific segment or a specific group of people in contact with you, then you're just kind of posting things on social media and you have a website. It's not the same thing. So I'm saying all that to say this. If you have questions, hit me up. I need questions. If you got any questions or anything about any marketing things, I'm gonna try my best to do them, answer them here. And if not, I'll do a follow-up video where I do a little bit of research and hopefully I can answer your questions there. So, um, and it's pretty broad, it's pretty wide open. So, and if I don't know, I'll say I don't know. That's kind of how I roll. So, anyway, looking for questions, the state of I sell words. I sell words is doing pretty good. We're a lot busier than we have been in the past year or so, and that's just because we're expanding and we're stepping into areas that are a little bit stretching the comfort level. But I always look at it like growth is finding what that comfort level is and leaning into it, finding the edge of that comfort level and leaning into it a little bit. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're leaning into it. So we have a lot on our plates right now, but we can always expand and have the capacity to take more. And so that's really what we're doing. And that's really the state of ISO words. We are basically providing full stack marketing services to our clients. Again, the pivot, we want to be able to pivot and provide mostly strategy. And eventually, once we hire a team that can actually implement the strategy. So ideally, I want to be positioned where I'm coming up with the plan of attack and then having a staff that can execute that plan of attack. But that takes time, you know. Um, Invariably, we are going to build out our online audience, and I really welcome that opportunity. I'm looking to sink my teeth into that. Um, just because I think having a larger online presence allows us to reach more people and people that normally we wouldn't be in contact with. Um, and I want to be able to provide some value to people that come to like a YouTube channel or hear our podcast or whatnot, and provide value in exchange for value. And so right now, over the next couple of months, we'll probably be coming up with some low cost marketing boot camp kind of courses. And if you're interested in that, let me know. If you want to be in the test group for that, let me know, and we'll throw you in the test group. But I really want to that's what I want to get into is really tailoring these boot camps so that a small business owner can latch onto it, they can purchase it, and they can get started with something. Um, One of the pivots we're making in our content is I'm moving away from the how-to section, the how-to kind of content to how I did, because I'd rather tell you how I did something and let you kind of make your own estimation on whether it fits you, as opposed to me just sitting up on the hill and saying, this is what you must do. Because there's so many different ways to apply different marketing techniques and things like that, that there is no one size fits all kind of bag. And so I'd rather just show you a couple of things that I've done with businesses and clients and my own personal stuff, and show you how I did it. And then, you can I'll give you the playbook and then you get a chance to run your own game. And that's what I really rather focus on. So again, I'm still here for marketing questions. If you have any marketing questions, I could either answer here or on the podcast. Don't feel shy. Make sure you leave your name, drop a comment, make sure you leave your name. Let me know where it's coming from. But I am down and I want to hear marketing questions. And that's really the format I think we're leaning into. Because the next part we're going to get into is what's the business with Brian and Brandy. And that's our podcast. We just recorded the first episode of the new season. We did that on Friday. And so when I get done with this, I'm going to be editing that. I already got parts of it kind of segmented out and kind of figure out how I want to format it. But realistically, the editing piece is the part that takes the longest time. And so the next step, and I'm being transparent with you. I want y'all to know what I'm doing. The next step is as we start building capacity to start doing stuff, we're hiring a video editor. I got all kinds of video footage from different clients or whatnot that I need edited. I don't really have the time to do it myself. And I'd rather hire somebody professionally who can edit this stuff out and help me out with the workflow of that. So I do some videos, they do some videos, and then I can roll out video content for myself and for some of my clients. And so that's the next step. When I say we're hiring out, that's what we're looking at. The next piece we're going to get is an editor. We're probably going to be looking at an office manager, and then we'll be opening it up for people that want to, well, not people that want to, but social media managers, probably a videographer. Um, we have a photographer. We have a good partnership with a photographer already. Have a good partnership with a website developer. And so these are the pieces that we're kind of bringing together, so that we can be the agency of first and last resort. Right now, we're trying to identify a good somebody who can help out with printed materials on demand and things along those lines. And they got to be local for our local clients. And so that's really the pieces that we're trying to bring together to get the biggest bang for our buck. And so with the podcast, we're still going to be interviewing business owners, and we're still going to be giving you the lowdown on how to be a business owner and try to give you as many different industries as possible. Um, that's one of the focuses of what's the business with Brian and Brandy. We get into your business, and we talk real. No BS, no, you know, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of being a business owner, um, and then give the business owners the opportunity, on the second half of the podcast, to kind of tell about what they do and what they're looking for. Because we are really transparent about doing business and doing acts of business. So that's what's the business with Brian and Brandy is. Days when we don't have guests, um, we are going to really talk about aspects of marketing. And again, it's going to be from an aspect of what we've done, and say these are things that we've tried, and maybe you can try these things out for yourself. So that's what we're looking for. Again, man, I'm still looking for questions. If anybody has any marketing questions or anything, um, you know, you can put them in here, and hopefully I can give you a little bit of guidance or some help with that stuff. Um, Looking in the comments here. Yeah. So if you guys got anything, hit me up, let me know, because um, it's me trying to help y'all. And I really want to establish the fact that that's what I exist for. I believe in the concept of, the service aspect of the business and marketing thing, especially when it comes to building out brands. I think we overlook the service piece of it a lot. And I feel like that is a detriment a lot of times. I feel like we don't really emphasize servicing our clients as much as we need to, and that's unfortunate. I think it gets boiled down to what can I get off of somebody, and we make it super hyper transactional. And yeah, that's part of it, man. We exchange value for value, but the other side is I want to go above and beyond providing value that exceeds the price point. And sometimes that value is knowledge. Sometimes that value is service. Sometimes that value is just being a ear or shoulder for, ear to listen, or shoulder to cry on for somebody. That's the kind of service I'm talking about. A lot of times, we think of these things that we buy on a day-to-day basis, these commodities and things, and we really don't attribute any value to them because we figure we can get them anywhere. And we don't really think about the people that created it and whatnot. We think about, well, how can this thing benefit me? And so by constantly going to provide that service, you're constantly a value or constantly a benefit to somebody. And as long as you're constantly a benefit to somebody, there's going to be somebody that there's going to be a lane for you to carve out a living for yourself. And that's just how it works. Um, so that's really what I want to do. I want to use this time to be of value. And so again, like I said, I'm asking for questions. If y'all got marketing questions, concerns, quandaries, anything regarding launching a product, getting started in a business, figuring out what niche you want to get into, figuring out who your clients are. These are things that I can talk about briefly here, and then hopefully convince you that there's enough value to book a consultation with us. And that's the other side of things. So I'll briefly address it here, but then hopefully the pivot is we want to be able to sit down and have a longer conversation where we get a chance to dig into your business and figure out, specifically your niches and who you're serving and what your social media profiles look like and what the best point of attack is for that audience. Figure out where your audience is. Um, we have the capacity to do that, but it all starts with a question. It all starts with a conversation. So specifically, I'll ask you if you're an aspiring business owner, you've been thinking about getting into a business. What questions do you have? You know, drop them in the comments. Let me know. And if you're just getting started out, you've already done the groundwork of setting up your business. What questions do you have regarding how do I figure out who my niche is or who I'm serving? How do I narrow down the space? Or are you scared about getting into a niche? I know a lot of business owners, they're terrified of niching down um, because they see it as something that's limiting. And the reality is, it's not really limiting. Matter of fact, niching down allows you to open up more opportunities than you could ever imagine. Um, you can tailor make your services to a group of clients that are in desperate need of those services. That's the power of niching down, but a lot of people are scared of it. And so if you need to create a customer avatar to help you with that niching down process, that's something we can absolutely help you out with. But ask a question, let me know, hit me up. That's the reality of it. If you're interested in being in the podcast, drop a comment. um, Let me know, and then we can reach out and contact you. But that's where I'm at right now. Realistically, we're in a happy place right now with I Sell Words. We were really, we set the goal last year. There was a specific conference that we want to get back to in Vegas. Don't know if it's going to happen because we got childcare things, and when you got two kids that are under eighth grade age, you can't just jet off to Vegas whenever, without some kind of other supports in place. And so, but there's a conference that we attended last year that we kind of made it a mission to get on the stage as the keynote or one of the keynote speakers. And so that's a target that we're shooting at for 2024. If this conference is still in existence, I think it still will be. But we want to get on there. We want to be on stage presenting to them and talking about our philosophy with of creating a client avatar and getting started. Because here's the thing, and I'm kind of rambling here, but I need y'all to understand this. From a business owner's perspective, if you're a one man or two man operation, you're not always going to be able to outsource your marketing. And so you have to get some things in your bag and learn a couple of different things to be effective at it. And really, that's who I want to speak to. I want to speak to the people that are kind of forced to be the Swiss Army knives of their business, where they got to wear multiple hats, and talk to them and let them know how the best way is to perform their marketing. Because the reality is, you don't always want to completely outsource your marketing. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have no capacity to do anything on your own. But even then, I urge you as a business owner, don't take your fingers completely off your marketing. Even if you hire somebody to do it, make sure that you still have your fingerprints on it, because at the end of the day, um, you know your business better than anybody else. And you need your clients to see you as the face of your business. Or if you have somebody that loves the camera and they're really photogenic and they're really excited about what you're doing, you can designate them to be the face of the business, but you should always kind of be the voice of your business, because you know what clients you serve best and which clients aren't really good for you. And so you need to be involved so that you can tailor the marketing message to really capture the essence of who you are. And that's important. You can't just hand it off to somebody and expect the marketing just to happen. I mean, it's a collaborative thing. And so I want collaborators. So again, I'm here. down to answer any questions. I know people are being shy, or you may not have marketing questions. So I open it up if you got any business related questions, anything regarding starting your own business. I'm here. If you want to know how I did it, or what steps I had to take, that works out too. But that's what I'm here for. Um, Even down to the point if you're still trying to figure out what you want to do, um, just a quick question, and then maybe we can find out what a potential market is for you. So if you have an idea for a business, let me know, and maybe we could come up with a potential market here right now. So that's where I'm at. I'm online. I'm hanging out. I'm waiting. I got about 30 more minutes before I got to go um, turn into the transportation department for my kids. And so, but I'm still here. And if you have any questions, hit me up. Um, the email, if you actually have a question that you want to get on I Sell Words, or not what I Sell Words, what's the business with Brian and Brandy? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the banner here. And yeah, so if you want to email us questions for the podcast, or if you want to be a guest on the podcast, this is where you can reach us. Look at the bottom of the screen where it's scrolling. It's mail@isellwords.net. Hit us up if you want to be a guest, if you have business that you want to discuss on what's the business with Brian and Brandy, or if you have any marketing questions or concerns that we can answer here. I'm basically right now, I'm your marketing consultant in a box. And so, as such, I'm here to field anything that you got. Shout out to my business owners out there doing their thing. Whether you are wildly successful or you're still struggling to figure out what your place is in the world, taking that plunge, stepping out there, and getting started is the most important point. Um, I would never advise people take the flying leap like I did, in terms of I'm gonna just abandon a career that I had put a lot of time and energy into, and just diving all the way into onto the marketing space of it. But it taught me a lot of valuable lessons. It taught me what to do, and it also taught me what not to do. And the reality is, learning what not to do is just as important as learning what to do. You know, there's lots of lessons out there in graveyards, and there's a lot of dead ideas that I had, that I had to abandon. To be honest with you, I started out just as a marketing consultant. Uh, to transition into buying a business, buying a franchise. And I realized about halfway through that I was not down for being a franchise owner at all. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It's not anything I was interested in. And so I had to pivot hard and figure out what the next step was. Um, it is what it is. In the interim, I dabbled in a couple of different things. I was Amazon seller. I was selling items on Amazon. I was flipping those shoes on Amazon, books, toys on Amazon. And to be quite honest with you, that could be a lucrative career if that's what you want to do. It's very cash intensive, and it is hard work. But it's something that's viable to get started, especially as a little side hustle. I do want to address the concept of thinking that you're going to side hustle your way into a business. A lot of times, side hustlers never let go of the thrill of the hustle, and they never want to do all the boring crap that it takes to start a business. And there's a lot of boring stuff that running a successful business entails. And so you have to master doing the boring stuff, because that's the difference between the business owners that make it and the ones that are latching on that are always starting a new side hustle. Because as soon as the hustle becomes unsexy, they're off to find a new hustle. And so it started out as me talking to side hustlers and stuff, but I rather talk to business owners. Or if a side hustler wants to try to take that side hustle and make it a full-time business, I'm down to have a conversation with you too. Um, but understand that there's going to be some boring stuff that you got to do, that you're going to have to, I don't say you have to fall in love with it, but I think you got to love the process of building a business for that side hustle to become something viable. Anyway, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm your marketing consultant in a box. Hit me up. Mail at isellwords.net. You can leave me a comment and I'll be ready here and ready, willing, and able to answer any questions you may have. If you catch this after the broadcast, feel free to email us at mail at isellwords.net and we can book you. We can set up either get you set up for a consultation and send you a link, book you on the show, or answer your question on the podcast. Again, I'm still out here. The scariest part is putting yourself out there like that. And it's really easy to not do it. You know, I was on my way home and I said, you know what? We're going to the studio because I got to get this done. The easy part is going home. The easy part is not turning on the camera. The easy part is not opening the laptop. The easy part is finding something on Netflix or turning on the game or whatever. The hard part is actually putting yourself out there on the ledge to do this stuff. And so this is me kind of putting myself out there to do some stuff. Um, I'm putting myself out there just so that um, I have the capacity and the ability to answer your marketing questions. I know I have it. I know I can do it, but I need the questions first. If you guys want questions on the show, those are going to be more research because I'm gonna have a little bit more time to do it. But we can answer those absolutely on the show. Um, what's the business with Brian and Brandy? Again, we're in season 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. I haven't figured out the naming conventions quite yet on how I'm gonna I'm gonna order that, but um, it's opportunity for marketers or for business owners to learn about the gory details and unsexy details about marketing. Um, and so that's really what the show exists for. And you get to learn the unsexy sides of the ownership thing. Um, that's what we're in there for, and that's really why we exist. We feel like there's a lot of misinformation in the space or under information, and so we want to fill in those gaps, and make sure that we are really addressing things. Oh, looks like all right. So, all right, cool, cool. I do have some questions. Apparently, they're not popping up in StreamYard. That's weird. Anyway, it looks like I got some questions off of Facebook 18 minutes ago. Chris, the YouTube name of the podcast is What's the Business with Brian and Brandy? And so I'll reply to this and leave it and let you know what that is. But yes, What's the Business with Brian and Brandy? I believe it's just listed under Brian Hill right now. We're still trying to figure out, we're beta testing out which name works the best. All right, Ricardo, my wife is looking at doing some tutoring and schooling in East Africa. Any suggestions how to market out there? Okay, so the first thing is, Ricardo, I would say that she really has to immerse herself in the different, and I'm not always the expert for this, but I do know somebody that probably would be a good connection. I'm inbox you that person. But I would say the most important thing is learning the culture and learning the different cultures, because when we're talking about Africa, we're talking about there's going to be different subgroups, and there's going to be, there's different even within countries, you're going to find different tribes, are going to be different people, and so they're going to have their different norms and mores, and so you're going to have to figure out the exact who is going to be attending that school and getting a good sense of that. But that's really that's the first part, is doing the research on the who. It's always you, and this goes for everybody, but specifically this question, whenever you're looking at an endeavor to serve an audience, the first thing you need to know is who you're going to serve. Before you build a product, you need to know who you're going to serve. Before you start a service, know who you're going to serve. And I'm talking about getting granular, all the way down to specifically when we talk about client avatars, we get all the way into it where we even say you need to come up with a name for your client avatar, what kind of job they work, what school they attended, how many kids they have, what kind of car they drive, and so you could really get into the mind of the people that you're serving. That's hugely important. A lot of times we come up with these fantastic ideas that sound great in an echo chamber. They sound great in our mind, like, yo, man, we could go out and lay this down and this could be amazing. It could change the game and change the world. But at the end of the day, we really haven't spent time building out who that service is for. So um, a lot of expats are there looking at working with their kids. I have somebody that you need to contact. I'll be when I get done here, um, I'll inbox you. It's somebody that we work with locally, and they actually have a class. They actually have school out in Ghana, West Africa, or Ghana, West Africa, and so they might be a good inroad. I know it may not be the same location, but they can tell you how to get started. So, um, but yeah, and yeah, I'll talk to her and see about if she wants to be, going as a consultant on that piece of it. But yeah, I'll send that stuff to you. But a lot of expats are there, and so here's what I'll say, and this is just off the top of the dome, bro. Um, if you're dealing with the segment of expats, what is the common theme? Let's try to find some commonalities. Why do people become expats and go uh, to East Africa? Why? What's calling them there? What's drawing them there? What situations are present in the country of origin that make them want to leave? And what things are in the designated country, the destination country, that draws them there? I know, Ricardo, but you got to sit down and say, okay, come up with, I would say probably the first thing your wife should do is sit down and either maybe do some calling, maybe doing some interviewing, seeing if she can find that group of expats and ask them questions about what prompted them to leave. What are they leaving from, and what are they finding at their destination? And figure out what kind of jobs they're working and how they're able to take care of themselves in another country. But find those common themes. Interviews, case studies, all that stuff is really good information so that she can start building a model of the person that she's going to be serving. So ideally, if it's a school for children, it's going to be expats with children. So we need to build a model of parents that are leaving the United States, going to East Africa, build a model of their what they want, what they're looking for, and things like that, and what they value in terms of education, um, and really nailing that down. That's super important. So it always starts with the avatar. And that's where I would go with it. I think if you can come up with that who and give them names, give them ages, give their kids names and ages, give them a location like where they're coming from in the United States, where they're going to in East Africa, you know, and what they're looking for, you get that granular, it's going to be really easy to design the courses to tailor what they're looking for. So that's one. I'm probably going to put you in contact. I'll shoot her a message too and let her know that that might be, it might be an opportunity. And there's somebody that wants to learn a little bit about it. So I'll do that for you. But yeah, man, this is great. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Great question. Like I said, I'll send that stuff to you. Any other questions regarding that? Let me go ahead and head back. Yeah, man. For whatever reason, these questions aren't popping up in StreamYard, bro. It's kind of it's not it's not optimal. And so I probably need to shoot over a ticket to say I'm not getting my questions here. So it is what it is. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate y'all's time. I got about 8 minutes left. Like I said, any questions, I'm here for it. But I'm your consultant in a box. Hopefully, I can do this on a pretty consistent basis. Normally Tuesdays is a time where I'm in this part of town anyway at my studio, and it'll be easy for me to just come over here and be your consultant in a box for about an hour or so. And hopefully I can help you out, answer a few questions. And if you got any deeper layers of questions or things like that, again, my email is at the bottom of the screen. It's mail at islwords.net. Hit us up and we can book out a time. We can answer your question. Um, can have you on the show. Those are the offers there. So, um, any other questions? Let's see. The biggest hurdle I'm gonna see with this is really getting consistent with it for the engagement piece of it, because my ADHD brain does not, it likes patterns and consistency, but at the same time it rebels against patterns and consistency. And so it's kind of a struggle with the two things. And so I'm really trying to make this a habit of coming on and talking to y'all and showing you what I know, um, and hopefully, um, me showing y'all what I know empowers you to, you know, take some actions on your own, and seeing, and seeing what your opportunities are as a business owner, seeing what your opportunities are to market your business, and really getting you to see, that you have everything you need to be super effective and successful marketing your own business. And so that's what my goal is, and that's the reason why I'm here. um, I think a lot of times we end up forgetting that, we all kind of have a purpose. And sometimes it's harder to find that purpose than other times. I think my purpose is to teach people and help people out. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my random thought process to work for somebody. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Ricardo, for the question. Thanks, Chris. Again, you can find us. The podcast and the YouTube channel is What's the Business with Brian and Brandy. You're going to find it under Brian and Brandy Hill. Um, Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me pull it up and I'll drop the link here so that you guys don't even have to really go look for it. Um, just so that you have it on deck, and you can come check us out. But let me pull it up now. Um, if you have any questions or concerns, like I said, I'm out to be off of this. But if you have any questions or concerns, hit me up, let me know. Let's see. Yep, it's under Brian and Brandy Hill. And so I will drop the link here, and put that in the scroll at the bottom of the screen, I think, or probably in the show notes. Either way, you can find me on YouTube under Brian and Brandy Hill. We're going to be uploading some content. And so if you stay tuned to my channels, matter of fact, you're going to get a chance to see what the podcast episode looks like, because I got something coming out this week. I got to get done with my editing. And so that's the next step of what I got to do. I get edited up. If you guys want to know what my process is for editing stuff, I have simplified it a lot. I have a couple of tools that really make editing videos and podcasts and things, of the like, a lot easier than the traditional method. And it can really make your amateur efforts with your podcast or amateur efforts with video editing a lot easier. And so I could share those too. But that'll be subsequent things. I'll probably do an episode on how we produce a podcast. And so that'll be coming up. Let me know if y'all interested. Give me a like if that's something y'all interested in. Um, if this has helped you in any way, please share this. Um, Share this with whoever, whoever you think would be interested in this. What I'm going to do is I'm posting the link to the podcast. We'll put it in the scroll at the bottom, and then probably I'm dropping it in the comments too, just so that you can check us out. It's called What's the Business with Brian and Brandy. And we got a new episode coming up, so be on the lookout for that. We're on YouTube, we're on Anchor, we're everywhere podcasts can be found. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, let us know. As we scale up, we're going to be looking for sponsors too. And so, yeah, we got that coming up too. So anyway, I'm about to go sign off here. I got to go pick up my kids from school. I will holler at y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, Brian, flying solo today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.